Yo, what's up everybody? Matt here from CTM Customs. Check it out. I wanted to give you a walkthrough on this 2020 Tiffin Wayfarer that we just finished up. In this vehicle specifically, we put 800 watts of solar on the roof. We did an Atmos air conditioner. We did 1260 amp hours of Lithionics Lithium batteries. We did a 3000 watt inverter. We did our rock and roll suspension package and a few other things. So if you stick with us, I'm going to walk you through all the upgrades that we did and why we did them. But first, I want to show you that this vehicle is not hooked up to shore power. So if you will notice, there's no cables running out of the back. This is going to be completely on battery power. We're also not running a generator. So all of the testing that I'm about to show you is straight battery only. So what we did is we installed bigger lithium batteries and a larger inverter. We inverted the entire electrical system so that everything in this Tiffin is run off of battery power. Air conditioner, microwave, all of the outlets, everything is on battery power. All right, so before we get started, I just wanted to give you an idea of the layout of the components. So in this particular rig, you have this nice big box here. This nice big box goes all the way back to here. So we have inside this bay 2 of the 630 amp hour batteries. We were a little bit concerned about the weight of these batteries, so what we did is we reinforced this bay. So even though this bay is all one big box, this is a big assembly, all welded together, still, just because of the weight and the thickness of the floor of this bay, we still put some aluminum ribbing underneath the bay and reinforced the floor so that the floor would be nice and solid. And then in this bay, there's 2 of those 630 amp hour batteries. And then up on the shelf, on a little pull-out tray, was the 1000 watt inverter. We removed that 1000 watt inverter, and you can see the white box there in the corner. That's the 3000 watt Xantrex Freedom Pro inverter. So now what this means is there's enough power to run all the components inside this RV. Mainly being the whole reason behind all of this is using the air conditioner. So now, the air conditioner that was on this used about 150 amps DC. I'm talking about battery amps, AC amps. We're using DC amps because it's being inverted and we're talking about battery draw. So drawing from the battery 150 amps. When we converted to the Atmos AC, one, the air conditioner is more efficient and it has a heat pump. It uses way less power. So it uses, we found about an average of 70 amps DC when it's alternating compressor on, compressor off. So using less voltage. Well, now this 3000 watt inverter has no problem with the starting and stopping of the air conditioner, microwave, if you're using a hair dryer, any of those high wattage items that you would use, like coffee pots, anything with a heating element in it that has a large draw. This inverter now has enough power to do any one of those items one at a time, of course. All right, so we're gonna step inside here real quick. I'm gonna disappear while I turn on the air conditioner. So I don't know if you can tell from the video or not, but the air conditioner, the Atmos that we installed, is running on high and it's very quiet. So compared to the factory AC, this one being a lot quieter, so you can actually hear your TV, hear your conversations going, but it also uses a lot less power and it's more efficient. It cools down quicker. All right, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna start the vehicle and I want you to watch the draw, the amp draw on the battery, and you're gonna see that it takes about maybe a full minute or so. And what's happening right now is as the vehicle has started, these DC to DC chargers that are under the seat, we have relays going to them. So it allows the vehicle to start. And then after a few seconds, the relay will turn on, allowing the DC to DC chargers to turn on. And then as soon as they turn on, the amperage will start dropping, because what's happening now is as the air conditioner is using amps, the vehicle is filling the battery as fast as it's being depleted. So you're gonna see you get down really close to a net zero. And then if you have good solar outside, that's only gonna make things better. So as you can see here, we're at a -2 amps right now. So that's barely using anything at all. As the sun gets better, the solar will make up that 2 amps. You might even go into the positives quite a bit. So yeah, this is a really good feature when to do a dual DC to DC charging setup. So instead of just a 50 amp DC to DC charger, we can either do dual 50 amps or a single 100 amp. The perk of this is while you're driving down the road, you can have the air conditioner on, lights on. So when you get to where you're camping, you're starting with everything cooled down. Your mattresses and your pillows and your chairs, the couch, everything can already be cooled off and you're not using any of your battery. So when you actually turn the Mercedes or the Transit or whatever platform chassis you have, you turn it off, now you're going to be using battery power once the DC to DC chargers turn off. So how I'll show that is I'm going to turn the vehicle off now and to simulate that we're camping, and you're going to see that shoot back up to 90 or 100. All right, so this is what we call our convenience panel here. So we call this a convenience panel because on a typical install, if people are trying to, be cost effective and, just basically get the job done the easiest, quickest way possible, we don't have to go this fancy. This is extra flair for the job. And the reason this is nice is because if it's raining or snowing outside, you can control the inverter cutoff switch and the battery on and off switch from right inside the RV. So what you have here, this is your control panel. It's Bluetooth for your inverter, your 3000 watt inverter. So now you can use this Bluetooth controller to go on the app in your phone and control things on the inverter. Like the most popular thing is to be able to have the ability to increase and decrease the charge current when charging batteries on either shore power or generator power. This is the inverter cutoff switch. This switch is in between the inverter and the battery. So this severs the connection between the inverter and the battery. So if you wanted to actually disconnect the inverter completely from battery, as if you were unplugging your TV from the wall, that's what this switch does. And then these buttons here, battery 1 and battery 2, these have a wiring harness that go down into the bay to their own batteries, and you can turn the batteries on and off, reset the batteries, see what the status of the batteries are just from these buttons. Solid light means that the batteries are being consumed, blinking lights mean they're being charged, and there's a bunch of other different meanings behind the blinks that you can find on Lithionics website. But this is called the convenience panel. And any other RV that didn't upgrade to this convenience panel, this would simply be a switch down in the bay next to the inverter, and the batteries have buttons on them individually, and so you would push the button on the battery itself. So you'd have to go outside, open the bay door, and do these outside in the bays. All right, so before we wrap this video up, last mod was the rock and roll suspension package. This suspension package has been really popular with the Mercedes Sprinter 3500, specifically with a RV built on top of it. Our rock and roll package, we've installed over 200 of these by now. We have 100% customer satisfaction. Our feedback from the customers is that this is a must. So what I would say, we have a YouTube video that outlines that package. So go to our YouTube channel and check that out. We do Bilstein struts up front, Sumo springs up front. In the back, we do Bilstein shocks, upgraded Hellwig sway bar, Hellwig over the leaf springs, and rear Sumo springs. If you're interested in any of these upgrades that you saw, make sure you go to our website. Our website is ctmcustoms.com. On the right-hand corner on the top, there's a tab that says Request a Quote. That will send an email directly to me. So put in your name, your phone number, your email address, a description of what you're wanting done, and I'll respond to you through email. If you have any comments about this job, leave them down in our comments section. I'll try to address them as best as possible. But more importantly, please share this video, like and subscribe. If you're in any of the Facebook groups that you think this information would be useful to others, share it on Facebook, share it on Instagram, subscribe to our channel, follow us so that you'll get the next video. We'll see you in the next one.